Okay, I had to collect myself. But, so, yes, my mom passed away 8 months after we found out during COVID. And it was so hard on me. She was my best friend. She used to call me 3 times a day, every day, always calling me. And then, you know, once that happened, my family fell apart. We fell apart. Everybody. People that I thought would be in my life for the rest of my life left my life. So it was very difficult for me. And it was so hard not having her there. You know, not the silence of not having her there was very hard. And the silence of losing the people too, because it wasn't just her, you know. Then I lost people very close to me. I'm not going to say who, because I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I will at some point, but it's still, you know, pretty recent. But I had to leave our house, and I got an apartment with not very much money. And I had to get a car. I had to get everything. I was using my mom's old car to get to work prior. After my mom passed during COVID, I forgot about this, I took the civil service exam, so I was able to get a good job. I started working at Bosie's. I was driving her car, and her car ended up breaking down, so I had to get a car. I had to get an apartment. I wasn't making enough money, so I transferred, and then I was working with my current, where I work now. But I will say, at least once I got away from everything and had my own apartment, I had my own space. When my mom passed, I swear to God, she gave me her strength, because I felt like, instead of, like I was saying, going back to where I was, which that was one of the darkest times of my life. Like, losing my mom was one of the hardest things I had to go through up to this point, for sure. And I could have so easily just plummeted back to where I was. But I decided I wanted to continue to make her proud. She knew how hard I was trying when she passed. So I had to just keep going. I knew that I wanted her to be proud of me. I knew that she was with me. I know she's still with me every day. I know that for a fact. I feel her all the time, and I know that she gave me her strength to keep going. And all I wanted in my life at that point was peace. I wanted peace and safety, and just to be happy again and normal. And, you know, at that point, I had been sober for quite a while since all of that had happened with my ex and all of that stuff. I had been doing so good. I was eating healthy. I started kayaking, which was huge. Kayaking and nature changed my life at that point. It is my place to unpack all of this stuff, to just relax and be in nature and heal in nature. It is so healing. It is so healing to be out there in the boat and just in complete peace. That was my place to go after she passed, to just think about her, think about my life, clear my mind. It helped me immensely. And art, both of those things are huge for me, to get out all of that darkness, to process it, to find my mental health. That was huge for my mental health. And having an apartment that I love, that I decorated, that is all me, and it feels so good to be in this place now where I am today. And that's the reason I do these videos, because you have to know that there are better days. Like, if you have ever been in those situations or are in those situations, just know that you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing, because there is better, and I promise you there's better. No matter how dark it gets, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how many people leave your life, you are worth it. You are worth it to be here, to find your light, to express yourself, to find what you love to do, to find your happy place and heal and get better. It is possible, and I am living proof that it is possible. I have talked about this before. Obviously, now you know why I said I've been at tables with millionaires. I have been in places that you would not believe, like penthouses and like crazy, crazy stuff, okay? But then I've also been on street corners with dealers, obviously, and crazy stuff happening and horrible places and dark places, and I have been in all kinds of scenarios, concerts, all this stuff. And I don't regret it. I've had a crazy life. But all of those experiences compiled make me who I am today. So I do not regret it one bit. I love myself. I love who I am. I stuck to my morals and my values and my heart all that time. Not only with my mom, but then recently I was also taking care of her mom, my grandmother, after my mom passed, because she was really the one that always helped my grandma. And after my mom passed, it was tough. And I stuck with it. I took care of her for a long time. She passed away much recent, like within the last few months. And I am so glad that I have stuck to who I am, who I am emotionally, my morals, my values that my mom instilled in me. It pushed me forward for sure and got me through all of this stuff in my life. So that is why now I don't care about telling my story, because, I have overcome so much in my life, and to still be here and still be that loving, fun, crazy person that I am so proud of myself for putting in the work, especially mentally. Addiction is so hard because it's not just a physical addiction. It is so mental. The way that it changes your brain and makes you think differently, and it is hard to get out of that and start to think in a healthy way again. So I think a lot of people look at it like, oh, they could just stop. And I said this in another video, but it's not just about stopping. It's about the recovery. The recovery is the biggest piece, because it's so hard. It is so hard to get through it and realize all your life that you've been thinking the wrong way, or that, people didn't have your best intentions at heart, or, family members maybe, or the way that you grew up was the wrong way of thinking, and things were instilled in you that shouldn't have been. And undoing all of that is intense. It is intense. And yes, I did rehab twice, but I've been still working on all of that. It doesn't end, Healing and becoming a better person does not ever end. Every day you can choose to become a better person than you were yesterday. You can choose to have peace and positivity in your heart every single day, instead of negativity and negative thoughts and negative emotions. That's why I do this. Like, literally just try to help people think in a different way and look at things differently, and not judge someone right away for what they've been through or where they've been, because how do you know how they got there? Like, did I choose to do that? I guess in a way I chose to do that, but I had no mental capacity as an 18-year-old at the height of the opioid epidemic to understand what that was going to make my future look like. No clue, not whatsoever. So you gotta just have some compassion. Not everyone got there the way you think that they got there. And knowing how difficult it is to get away from it, I just wish the best for people that are in that situation, and I am so glad. Looking at my life now, I could have never imagined that I would be here, that I would be doing this. My younger self is so proud of me for putting myself out there, for being courageous and, having confidence, building my confidence, being proud of who I am, loving myself, loving who I am today. And I really do use those times in my life, those dark times, to push myself to, make light out of it and find the happy parts of it, the things that made me stronger in the end. Like, it truly did make me so strong. And not only did my mom give me her strength, but I know that she is so proud of me for how far I've come, for sure. And not only that, but I have had friends, you know who you are, that have stood by my side and been there for me in some of these hardest times. The past few years have been really, really hard because of my family falling apart and my mom not being here, and, having to have the strength to get up and go to work every day. And my mom always used to say that you go to work every day, whatever shit you have going on at home, you leave it at the door. And I always do that. And I always go into work with a smile on my face. Always, no matter how bad things got, I would go into work with a smile on my face and, work as hard as I could. And then I would come home and fall apart if I needed to, right? But that's another thing. You just don't see people healing and doing this work. You don't see it. It's behind closed doors. How many nights I've sat here and cried and released shit and worked through stuff. But again, I am so much better for it. I really am. My future looks so bright right now. I love that I'm doing this because it is helping me process everything and just making me feel that much more confident and better and have strength within myself to be able to do this and be vulnerable and get this out there. And I really think it can help other people realize that there is a much better life on the other side of that, and it's possible. And you just never know, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth the work. It's worth the dedication. You have to get up every day and put one foot in front of the other, no matter how hard it is, and just get there. You can get there. My advice would be, find your happy place. Find a place that is for just you, a peaceful place. Find nature. Nature is huge. That was huge for me. That is my place to just clear my head and get things straight and really think about things in a deeper way. Meditation, I didn't mention that yet. Good Lord, absolutely meditation. That was huge for me too, for processing stuff. People have no idea. Like, just sitting there for 10 minutes at night to meditate and think about your day and unpack things is so helpful. Like, I have had so many things come up that I would have never thought of that I needed to process and I needed to work through. And just thinking about, like, yes, my inner child and like who I was as a kid compared to who I am now, and how proud I am to be here, standing here the way I am today compared to who I was when I was 15 or 16 or 18 and getting bullied in school and feeling like crap about myself. Like, I could care less right now what people think of me. I really don't. I could care less because I know I did the work. I got here. I did it. My mom was proud of me. That's all I cared about. That's all I do care about in life, is that she's looking down on me and being like, go, keep going. So, again, hopefully this helps others. Hopefully my videos bring you guys some positivity in your day, makes you think a little differently. Hopefully I plant a seed in there, a little seed of light somewheres in there in your day to think about things a little different. Have compassion for other people, what they're going through in life, give you a reason to ask for help. Ask for help. I know it's hard. I hate asking for help, but it's better that we talk with each other about these things than to keep it all inside and have to deal with it behind closed doors. That's not helpful. You need to, have trust in people, get it out, process it, feel the feelings, and then move on. And once you do that, you will feel so much better. Oh, so much better. So I know after this, I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to feel so good after getting this out there, because I've been wanting to. And, I want people to see that there is someone that lived through this there's so much more that I didn't talk about, obviously. And I can go into other things at some point. But just those experiences that I talked about today, again, some of those lowest points, watching my friends pass away, watching my ex pass away, having to go to his funeral and dedicating that t-shirt to him, and all of those things, it's so dark, but it has brought me to this place of just pure gratitude for my life, to be here. Like, I've talked about this before too. I don't care how long this video is. It's going to be forever long, but whatever. I'm telling you right now, being in the lowest of lows makes the smallest of things seem so beautiful. Like, because I've been in those horrible places, just going for a walk and seeing a beautiful flower or seeing a bunny or just the smallest of things mean so much more to me. Like the roof over my head, or the fact that I was able to get groceries. Like, I have struggled for all these years since I've gotten this apartment. I am finally maybe in a place where I'm doing all right. I have a better job. I might get a new car at some point, hopefully. But like, getting those milestones for me is like, I have so much gratitude in my heart for those things because of all that stuff. Like, you appreciate it that much more. When you have come from a place of lack and a place of darkness and pain and suffering and struggling, and I've said it before, like when you go to the grocery store and you don't have money to get everything you want, but you have the money to get what you need, and just feeling grateful for that, gratitude, because there are people out there that can't do that, right? So just getting myself to that point of being able to not only overcome, but being able to actually survive and do that for myself and get myself to a place that felt safe, that felt like security, like just huge wins. And I hope that for everyone. I hope that for everyone out there. But when you have stuff like that handed to you, like my ex, okay, when you have that stuff handed to you all your life, you have no idea what it's like to go without. So you will never feel that sense of beauty and gratitude for the small things in life, the little wins that someone else feels so deeply for, you know? I think that's huge, huge. That's why I always said our morals were nothing alike, and it did create a big gap for me because, you know, growing up the way I grew up, just going out to a nice dinner is like the best thing. So living with someone like that for the time I did, it taught me a lot. Like, that's the thing. All of these things in my life, every single little thing that has happened in my life up until this point has taught me something. Whether it was good or bad, it taught me something. And I am so grateful for that. I love that I have street smarts that I have a hard side to myself. I love that I can hold it down in a sketchy area and be right at home, or be, like I said, at a table with millionaires and feel at home. Like, I can handle myself in any situation, which I love about myself. That is one of the things that I I will never not be grateful for, because it's great. I love that I'm able to do that, that I feel like I can mediate any situation. Like, I have so many talents that I have gained from all of these situations that make me who I am, and I love that. So yeah, hopefully you stuck through this whole thing. Maybe I'll make it a few different videos, but just know that it is possible to come out on the other end. You don't need to be ashamed of it, because it is your strength. It's what you fought for. Like, never feel ashamed of where you were, because just know that you did it. And that is the whole point here, is no, you should not be ashamed. Shout it from the rooftops, because you have the strength and the willingness and the drive to get there. You got it, man. That's awesome. Like, people don't realize how hard it is to come out the other side of that and have the mindset that I do. Okay, it is crazy, but I love my life. I love the people in my life. I know they all support me. Most people don't know the extent of the things that I went through. You might know a little more now, but I only show people my depth to a point, and then I freeze and I'm like, nope, they can't go farther than that. They can't know deeper than that, right? And it's very difficult for me to let people in and actually see who I am fully. But I don't know why, because it's amazing. Like, I am so proud of myself for getting here. I think it's been at least 10 to 15 years now of being sober, since I've been to rehab and all of that. So, it's been a minute, and we're never going back there ever again. No way. We're going up, baby. Up from here. That's it. That's the only way forward, is forward. I'm not going backwards. And I feel so good about that. And my life looks so amazing right now. Like I said, hopefully at some point, new car would be amazing. We're getting there. I'm moving forward. I feel good about things. Everything is good. Everything is good right now. I have lots of peace, quiet time. There are so many things for me to look forward to in the future right now. I have projects I'm working on, which I said in my last video. I gave you a hint in this one, even though nobody's going to get it. But watch for that stuff. Please follow, please share, please like, comment. I would love to get comments on this video. I want to know what you guys think. I have worked very hard to get here. And yeah, please follow along, because this is going to get crazy. I'm excited. I have lots of good things coming up. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.